I'm your host, T. Mitchell Bell, and we're here in the studio with Ilyaimy and Rob and Heather. Thank you guys for coming in today. Really appreciate it. And where were you coming from last? You were here in town?
We slept in Bridgeville on a floor next to a very white, fluffy dog. And then before that, we were in Pittsburgh for a little bit. And before that, we were in Louisville, Kentucky, where it was 78 degrees.
Wow. So big change. And you were in Greensburg, right?
Yes.
You said you did a show in Greensburg.
Yes.
Apparently next to all of the hurricane-y, horrific wind. You know, we got up the next day and it looked like it was snowing, and our host informed us that it may not be snow, it may in fact be insulation from the school that got hit by a tornado.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I usually ask everybody to just dig in and play something right off the top. What do you want to do for us?
We'll dig in and start from that. Yeah, this is a song called Will that I wrote about crazy storms in Baltimore.
Okay, this is Ilyaimy on Acoustic Songs Live.
Backwashing alleyways, drowning men out of holes. The water ran red as people lost skin, and a frightened young man, he looked down upon his tools. He's in danger of getting his feet so wet. Are tossing down in the harbor. The wind is raising, the rain is pounding down. Ships are sinking down in the harbor as the waves come up. They climb past the dikes, they climb past the fence posts, they snuck past the sentries, they grab the like giant doors as the rain's raining down, down, down. These are the marchers, and these are our prayers. These are our lives. Down the harbor there forms a storm. They can wipe us all in a life. Stick tight down and close your eyes now and hold the storm passing by. Then came a woman, a hero, a martyr. Called her Mary, she needed no comfort, and down in the harbor she walked in the sky, she walked her waves, she walked her water. To the martyrs and these are prayers, and these are lives, they're given to us with that easy soul fit. Rest assured that you will, rest assured that we will, rest assured that we will, rest assured that we will. On the ocean floor, she shone like fire with a 6 foot frame. She walked the sun, she walked far too high to see, and she asked me to walk with her, 6 foot tall with her. She turned to me and whispered, "Don't fear the storm." These are prayers, these are lies given to us to do it as we see fit. Rest assured that I will. Rest assured that I will. Rest assured that I will. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow, I'm man, I feel like I just jogged or something. Like I actually exercised.
It's good for you.
Yeah, just burn off some calories listening. Wow, that just so you guys know out there in listener land, this is a duo. There's two people, two, and I've heard that expression that the sum is greater than its parts, and there's definitely a third voice in the room somewhere here. When I hear you guys together, it's like this big.
Considered noisy.
This is this big sound. Like
Thank you.
Bigger than two people.
Yeah, one of our reviewers once said that with a guitar and a djembe, we sounded, as full as a rock band. That we could do that.
We've actually held our own with there's an interesting sort of festival slash contest slash whatever, a bunch of other things, and it was interesting because we got stuck on a stage with heavy metal bands, and so we were there in a Baltimore club, and like, and then, and that's what I come out of. I love it, and then we come up and we're like.
Did you do like?
We did well. We sold more CDs than everybody else.
And I like to think that actually, I think musicianship draws respect regardless of genre.
Yeah.
Like, bluegrass, metal, whatever. If it involves a decent level of musicianship, most musicians respect each other regardless of what you chose to play.
Yeah, and that's true. I listen to so many different styles, music, and there's good and bad and all different types of stuff. So tell me, you guys have been touring for like 8 years? You were saying.
Yeah, coming up on 8.
And you've been together for
10 almost.
Yeah. So how did that all happen?
We met at an open mic. I extol the virtues of open mics for beginners and professionals alike. But I was finishing up my journalism degree at the University of Maryland College Bar, and had wandered into an open mic and met Rob, who was playing with our other percussionist, Rowan. And it was like, that's neat. I remember thinking at the time, I was going, I've never seen somebody do that to an acoustic guitar. What is that? And so...
That's about right.
Yeah, he caught me at the moment where I was sort of going through a transition of what I wanted to do with my life. I have a degree in journalism. I finished the degree, and we went out on the road within the year.
Yeah. I had graduated from Maryland Institute College of Art with a degree in illustration a couple years previous, and I had, about halfway through college, fallen in love with music and figured, man, this is what I want to do. And so I got myself a interesting corporate design job and planned it out to the day, where I would pay off all my school debts within, I think it was like two years or something like that, $40-something thousand. And the day that I sent my last school payment was the day that we had lined up to have our apartment leases, my house lease go up. A week before, we sold everything that didn't fit in the Saturn in a big yard sale, and September 2nd of 2003, we moved into the car and traveled for a year. And I figured that's what we're going to do.
That's awesome.
And then every September we sort of renewed our
vows to each other in that way.
That's awesome. That's awesome, because I left my corporate job too, and took a buyout and made a CD and all that kind of stuff. So for years and years and years struggled with the that cubicle stuff, and
different culture.
Couldn't take it anymore. It's like an internal struggle, really.
I was fortunate. I worked with some of the coolest people, and we're still
who still
good
come
friends.
to see our shows. So.
We ran into them a little while ago. My office mate showed up at one of our shows in Virginia recently and dumped ice down my back. So there's that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't that I hated the people that I was working with. It wasn't that I even the work was interesting. But this is what I really wanted to do, and. Who, once they get that bug to tour or play music, wouldn't regret it for the rest of their lives if they didn't at least try it.
We've been very fortunate that people have.
The regret minimalization factor.
Yeah.
That's what Jeff Bezos.
RMF.
The RMF.
Yeah, the regret minimalization factor. You don't be 80 years old and say,
Yeah.
wow, I wish I would have done that.
I like that. I like that as an idea for like maybe like refrigerator decision trees, you know, little magnets with a little dial on it past the RMF. And you're like, okay, well, this is how I'm going to figure out whether or not I'm going to get a dog. I don't know. RMF of getting a dog versus not getting a dog. This is why I don't talk before 5 in the afternoon usually.
But Rob, your acoustic guitar playing style is, as Heather said, very unique. You guys can't see out there in radio, but you have fingernails taped to your fingers, as opposed to finger picks, which I wanted to kind of touch on the technique of that. Like, what's the deal with that?
Well, I actually, it's
a thumb pick and finger pick type of.
Well,
setup.
now what I've done is I actually have found finger picks that work for me, but they're very, very unique finger picks. For years, I was using Lee press-on nails. At the advice of Ani DeFranco. People have been comparing my playing to her for a while, so I went to see her and didn't get a chance to talk to her, but talked to her bass player for a while, and he was like, Lee press-ons. Well, she uses electrical tape, tapes them on. For years I used that. And then the unsung casualty of our oil crisis was all the nail companies started using softer plastics. And I read later that Ani DeFranco went through the same process where she went through, like, every drugstore she could find and bought up cases of these nails that she likes. I had a much smaller budget to work with, and so therefore had been stumbling around trying to find, like, what's my next solution? If the nails are too soft, too floppy, wasn't working. And I eventually ran across these picks. Let's do the...
a promo, huh?
Yeah.
Hey,
These
sponsor us if you hear us. Sponsor us.
There you go.
Fred Kelly Freedom Picks.
Okay, so they slip on over the whole finger?
Yeah, they slip on over the whole finger.
They're almost like a shield, frankly, more than a...
I tape them on so they don't go flying across the room into people's coffee.
Yeah.
Because they hate that.
Yeah.
And it's Delrin. They make a couple different, polycarbonate plastic as well, which I don't like because it's too smooth. I'm getting techie now. But the Delrin just feels like natural nail. They're great. And it's like... saved my guitar.
And allows for the slap bass frail banjo thing.
The style that I've noticed watching you play. I studied with Ernie Hawkins briefly here in Pittsburgh, and he plays that Reverend Gary Davis style guitar, and he uses the thumb pick and the finger picks, and you really need those for that particular style of guitar playing, right? But when I put them on and try to play anything else, I notice it like you can't.
I can't do it.
Yeah, you can't, especially if you're trying to do an up pick or something. It's like it'll just pull right off. I mean, it's like. So I've seen Ani DeFranco live, and I noticed the electrical tape around her fingers, just like you.
Well, originally it was to keep my own fingernails from pulling off backwards, which was a bloody and exciting display of angst. But
that would hurt.
I'm over bleeding on my guitar now.
We're beyond that.
I've gotten over that.
We're okay. We don't need to, actually bleed on our instruments.
Well, I've got the camera here. We're recording your video. If you want to bleed on your instruments, go right ahead. And
would you like to packet so we can look angsty?
Would you like to dig in and do another song for us?
Yeah. You want to do the new one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
What CD is this off of your new CD?
This is not even. This is brand spanking. So new it does not exist in the world yet.
Okay,
so I don't know the name.
People, if they want to find you, the latest CD I see here is a gift for Saint Cecilia.
Yes.
And it's, if I'm saying this right, Ilyaimy?
Ilyaimy. Ill like you're sick, yay like you cheer, me like me. Ilyaimy.
It stands for I love you and I miss you. You can find us online at www.ilyaimy.com.
Wow.
Or, it's an acronym, I love you and I miss you, ilyaimy.com. You can find us on Facebook or MySpace or Twitter or, I don't know, Google's your friend. You can find us all sorts of places.
You guys just did a great voiceover. It sounded exactly. maybe we'll put you in the studio afterwards.
We've done
this before.
We're using Ilyaimy.
Yeah, we have scary station spots for many of the public radio stations out in Missouri. Give a shout out to Jeff Wheeler out there.
Yeah. Jeff Wheeler's at KOPN. I always screw it up because I want to say WKRP in Cincinnati, but it's KOPN. Yeah. So this is a brand new song.
Okay.
Sort of about the state of the world at the moment. It's called Revolutions Per Minute, and yeah.
Awesome.
Everyone loves a revolution, spinning a circle till it comes round. Everyone loves a revolution till it's on the doorstep, till it's on the ground. I got complaints, I can't deny. I got concerns, keeping me awake from me. I got my problems with the way of the world. See, I'm not a soldier, I'm living with team is like a race car, cheering it on. Revolution's coming in, the Beatles song. Say you want a revolution, so it's the one you want. Everyone loves a revolution, all the way. Everyone loves a revolution, one man's check, another man's kill. Never know what you get. And the revolution's just a circle that's radio's a fast car, sing it now. Revolution's coming in, a new song. Stand up and take the power back. It's easy to say, but you do it every day. Easy to say, far away, so no sacrifice, they deadlines. Just you wait till it comes. You'll be the chosen ones. 'Cause everyone loves a revolution, spinning a circle till it comes round. Everyone loves a revolution, it's on your doorstep, it's on your ground. I got complaints, I can't deny. I got concerns, keeping me awake from me. I got my problems with the way of the world. See, I'm not a soldier, team is like a fast car, cheering it on. Revolution's coming in, the Beatles song. Say you want a revolution, be careful of what you want. Say you want a revolution. Say you want a
Very nice. I think you guys, man, you should promote the heck out of that one. Yeah, it's very. How's the headphones? Are they, what?
They're cutting in and out. I'm not going to worry about them.
Oh, they are really.
Yeah.
I was trying to.
The song was like, Ocean! And I'm like, oh, that's my part.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Yeah.
That was weird. I don't write political songs. It was funny because without naming names, I have a friend who is friends with a legitimately famous international metal star who I met, and we got into a conversation sort of about the way things are, and and he was like, you should write songs, you write songs about it, that's what you should do. And I was like, but I don't write songs about that kind of thing, it's not who I am, and that sort of coupled with like this one day of Facebook posts that just irritated me, where it's like people going, yeah, Libya, next stop America, but they're wusses who would never do a darn thing when that happens. It's like, be careful what you want. That revolution's a great thing until, like, you're sitting on your porch dealing with it.
A fantastic article about social commentary and social revolution, and about how the number of people in America today who consider themselves revolutionaries vastly outstrips the number of people who considered themselves social revolutionaries in the 60s or the 70s. But then going back and talking about what do people actually do, the vast majority again
on Facebook
is
does not count.
clicking like on these movements.
No.
And
yeah, hey, we could have a really good conversation about that, because I was always one of those people, call myself a couch revolutionary, I guess, you know, where I would be, you know, clean energy,
But I've learned
stop
some
the
things
war.
by reading your Facebook posts, and so, I mean, I think informational is a different kind of thing. It's like, the sharing of information is one of the greatest revolutionary acts of all time, you know, but people who complain who are not then the kind that would be motivated to actually do are the ones that really trouble me.
When I show, the first actual show up and do something, walk through the streets of Washington, D.C. was the Appalachia Rising thing for me. And I was just, I felt like I was transported back to the 60s, you know, standing in front of the EPA doing the, EPA, do your job, you know. That was awesome. People drumming, Native Americans drumming through the streets, you know, 2,000 people marching down through, and I see exactly what you mean, because there was a lot of the older 60s folks, and then the really young kind of hippie anarchists, you know, kind of thing, but the middle people weren't there. And then we realized, I said, well, they probably have jobs.
I was really practical.
It was a month.
Revolutionaries require unemployment to be revolutionary.
Can we play protest song next, actually?
Yeah, my parents went down to the Jon Stewart thing, which I thought was really crazy.
Rally to restore.
Yeah, I mean, because my parents, I mean, they are, you know, educated and they, you know, are into it, but they're not like into it, and so I was really amazed, but it was something they wanted to be part of, you know, and they said it was insane, but they said everybody was kind of nice about it because the metro was jammed, you know, but everybody was sort of there for the same reason, and that's the thing. I sort of liken the world to parking lots. Here's my beef, everybody.
I'll just listen to this one.
Yeah.
I have no idea where you're going.
I feel that parking lot etiquette shows how badly we've become about self-interest in the world. Because people are obnoxious in parking lots. In a way they're not obnoxious on the highway. Like, I mean, it's a whole other level of, like, you know, vying for position and, you know, people walking out and getting upset and is it my fault because I walked in front of the car or their fault because they're in my way and I'm just in a hurry, and parking lots, I feel, exhibit this aspect of our personality.
I saw it first from over there, and you pull up and somebody's already waiting.
The first time a person ever used an epithet at me was in a parking lot.
Yeah.
Isn't that the first place you saw your mother use an epithet?
No, well, no, they used an epithet at us.
Yeah.
And it was, they were trying to back into a space. The point being is that politics in the world is like the parking lot. If we could just sort of chill and recognize we're all there, probably to shop at the same place, probably to get the same things done, and we're all equally in a hurry, and just chill.
Yeah. I agree. And my it's like, hey, take the bus or bike. To put it on another, it's like,
as soon as they set up the tour bus, like our 8-year, where's Ilyaimy going? But yeah.
So in that vein, I think we'll sort of continue. This is sort of a song. It's weird because we're not really a political act, and so I guess we do speak to sort of observational stuff we see.
Yeah.
And so yeah, this is sort of a song about movements over the years.
And also a song about not really having a cause. You're sort of in between things. This is a song about being part of that generation that doesn't really have any good rallying cries, and whose first thoughts of spirituality was probably awakened by George Lucas and the Force, which was then promptly taken away recently by being told it was, you know, bacteria in the bloodstream. So that's also my geek flag flying there. Yeah, it's sort of a combination of things. It's a song actually off our CD, Gift for St. Cecilia.
Okay.
Available at www.ilyaimy.com. Yeah, on the recording that you have there, actually, there's a baron on it and things like that.
What track we do?
This is.
I have no idea what track it is. We're just gonna play a song.
We're just gonna play it.
It's called Protest Song.
Okay, cool.
see a crowd out on red paint with cigarettes and bound up and wounded. Your voice will be hoarse by noon, yeah, your friends will be high by 3. I'm sure your noise will be heard 5 by 5 by 5. And what was I ever gonna be? To satisfy your stupid. And what was ever gonna please me now? If you're not angry, you're not listening. And how was I ever born between the side heights? My God is midichlorians now. Exist ain't divisible by me. Oh, I'm so sorry, but I hear that you're pissed again. I heard it from a friend of a friend who read it in your journal. You're angry that it's red, you're angry that it's not. You're fighting in this war, but you're so angry that it's fought by friends. I'm trying to be kind. And what was I ever gonna be? What was ever gonna please me now? If you're angry, you're not listening. And how was I ever born between the side heights? Give peace a chance now. Exist ain't divisible by me. What you are selling now, don't come crying back to me. Well, I said songs should be true from the get-go. But what you are selling now, it's girl power and rage. When you're a child from the suburbs, crying cause things don't go your way. Yeah, you're just crying cause things don't go your way. I'm so sorry, but I just get a bit stressed. Drinking wouldn't solve it, I'm too scared for pot. And coffee makes me crazy, but there's something to be said for that. I don't care what you've been selling, I don't care what you got. I don't care what you've been bringing me, I don't care what you have sought outside. There's something beautiful, outside there's something kind. Found when I'm put here in the midst of all the yelling. So despite my love for RPGs, despite my love for you, I'm simply sick of all the games that we are playing. What was I ever gonna be? To satisfy your stupid. What was ever gonna please me now? If you're angry, you're not listening. And how was I ever born between the side and the heights? Child left behind now. X just ain't divisible by me. Divisible by me. X just ain't divisible by me. Dragging all my hair out of my mouth now. It's a bad thing.
Hey, I'm starting to let mine grow out, and one of my freak flag flies, they said back in the 60s, nice. You know, it was on the bucket list of things to do, you know. So I get to that point where it's flying in my mouth. Yeah.
I was aware. It's that awkward moment when your hair sort of comes in and yet also comes out, and so you're sort of providing the drool line, and that's what was occurring there in the middle of that song. I was like, oh yeah, that's okay. That's really horrible.
Oh, the beauty of radio where people can't see.
No, that's what the video camera's for. I'm like, ah.
So I have a friend. I'll kind of finish up the protest thing. A friend, I was thinking of this. He told me that there won't be a revolution as long as they give out pre-approved credit cards when you start college. You know, you're a freshman and they hand out a pre-approved credit card to you. No revolution, kind of gets you in the system. So, kind of interesting. Anyway,
Let's come away. Let's be.
I feel we need to do something lighthearted.
what?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Let's do something lighthearted then. What are you gonna play for us?
I have, radio listeners at home, the equivalent to Dorothy's slipper of a ukulele. It is red, it is sparkly, and it has a dolphin as the bridge.
My daughter is just starting to play. She's gonna love this.
So,
She's
yeah.
cheering you on.
It's sort of like the Smiths. I wrote this song that's kind of depressing, and so I thought, God, I have to put this on something cute, or else otherwise it's just a really depressing song. We run an open mic back home where we did a songwriting workshop every month. And it was good because it got me out of my own head, and also I wrote whatever I wanted, and I actually put out a disc, because some of it's just like this. I would never putting this into the band, who knows. But
Is this on your
this
samples?
is on my little solo samples disc.
And let me just do our spot here, since we're at the top of the half hour. Where, in case you just joined us, you're listening to Acoustic Songs Live at WNJR, and from the WNJR Studios, and you can listen to us at 91.7 FM in Washington, Pennsylvania, and streaming at WNJR.org, and find us on acousticsongs.com. And we have in the studio Ilyaimy featuring Rob Hinkle and Heather Aubrey Boy.
Man, I get my full name.
Have a danger boy.
Don't.
And she's going to do a song for us now on the ukulele
Yes.
called...
The Winter Bride, about how I'm never going to get married.
Okay.
It'll snow on the day I wed. It'll snow on the day I wed. Even if I'm a summer bride, the lakes will freeze, the bridges ice. It'll snow on the day I wed. It'll be like Christmas in July. It'll be like Christmas in July. The sun won't even have a chance. There will be an avalanche of snow on the day I wed. Oh, white wedding it will be. No need to decorate, nature will decorate for me. Icicle chandeliers hanging down from every tree. All because I'll be getting married. It'll snow on the day I wed. It'll snow on the day I wed. 'Cause when I find my constant lover, hell will have frozen over. It'll snow on the day I wed.
That's cool.
That song is stupid charming.
It really is. But, you know, I can hear, like, if you do that,
If you do,
if you do that on a record,
it is.
I
It's
can
on
hear
that
some really
record.
cool, like, horns in the background.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Right.
like kind of that ragtime.
Yeah. We have a cello player that we'll often use as kind of like an upright bass player, basically. And so if it does find an Ilyaimy incarnation,
I'm gonna have to swipe somebody's 1920s arch top.
yeah, something like that.
I hear a tuba.
Okay, we don't believe in tubas actually.
It's not like we doubt their existence. You make it sound like it's like a unicorn.
Tubas are like unicorns. Tubas and sousaphones and unicorns are my. They're really idiots.
Oh my! So you guys, let everybody know where you're going to be coming up next.
What was interesting is we've sort of come from our Pennsylvania gigs and stuff, but we're looking actually probably at doing a bunch of college shows in the fall, particularly because we just were a feature at the National Association of Campus Activities for the Mid-Atlantic region, which involves Pennsylvania. And
Oh,
so,
that's
like, we are in talks with several Pennsylvania colleges to come and be weird at their schools. And
So if you are listening out in the West Virginia area, we do have
Right.
shows coming up. We're playing tonight at a place called Dish Bistro in Charlestown, and then tomorrow we're running an open mic event.
yes,
So if you want to come out and play, you're welcome to. Probably won't be back into this area till June or so, and then again for the fall. But get to our website at ilyaimy.com and sign up on our mailing list to find out more about that. Back home, for the people who are tuned in, we have a huge show coming up on April 1st, April Fool's Day, where it's a full band Ilyaimy show, which means it's Heather and I plus our other percussionist on Irish Bones and cajon and Doombek, and our cellist and our piano player. And opening for us, we have Primitivity. People are familiar with Apocalyptica, a cello metal band that you know, came up playing Metallica covers. Well, we've got Primitivity opening for us, which is sort of similar, except they came out of Megadeth covers.
Oh,
which
wow.
I'm really excited to have play with us. They're a bunch of old friends from College Park, actually.
Yeah, it's going to be weird and awesome.
Cool.
So it's a spectacular show on April 1st. But again, if you want to find us, go to Ilyaimy.com or find us on Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, and you'll get updates regularly to see where we are in the country.
Not to mention, we have a journal where we post sort of interesting details about our adventures. And we had some interesting adventures in Pittsburgh this time. Like, I think, I'm like 90% sure.
Is this your first time your mom will be hearing about this?
No, I wrote
Okay,
her. I wrote her. We were sitting in a coffee shop at Commonplace Coffee House in Pittsburgh in Squirrel Hill down the street from the amazing sushi I didn't get to have. But anyway, we're sitting there and I'm looking across and I swear it's Steve Jobs. And I'm staring at him for a while, Steve Jobs being the CEO of Apple. And I'm staring for a while because he's even wearing that short little cropped black turtleneck in every picture that he is wearing.
That's all he wears.
And I'm looking at him.
No pants.
Really, that really looks like him. And you know, and I pulled up a picture online and of course little cropped black turtleneck and stuff, and I'm like, God, that really looks like him. And I'm reading, and he's on medical leave right now, and so he's not necessarily anywhere in particular, and it's just like, really? But by the time I sort of got up the nerve, he had already gone. But what occurred to me afterward is I should have just looked at the computer he was using, because then that probably would have sealed the deal.
Oh, he was in the coffee shop
Oh,
itself?
he was in the coffee shop working on something. I'm like 99% sure. But what's funny is afterwards I was thinking, what's the worst thing that can happen, like walking up to somebody who looks like a celebrity? Unless you're walking up to somebody and saying they look like some ugly celebrity, which, you know, would be kind of offensive. You're like, hey, you look like Steve Jobs. Are you in fact actually Steve Jobs? You know, like, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
Except Rob.
Yeah, there is a worst case scenario there, actually. I was wandering through a mall a little while ago. We're at that special stage where people do, every once in a while, usually when I'm on a date, so it's very impressive, somebody comes up and says, aren't you blah 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 from blah blah blah? Would you sign this blah blah blah?
Rob has
awesome.
long hair and a goatee. Actually, I believe his particular facial hair is called a Van Dyke when you have the...
So I'm wandering through a mall, and I'm all excited. Somebody comes up and is like, aren't you... You're in a band. Would you sign this? And I don't know what he was doing, traveling around with a copy of Soundgarden's Super Unknown in his back pocket.
Apparently,
but he was like, Chris, will you totally sign my CD? And I'd gotten so excited because, man, he recognizes me as Rob Hinkle, lead singer of Ilyaimy from Baltimore, Maryland. No, he had recognized me as Chris Cornell from Soundgarden, the grunge band of the 90s.
If I had to pick a grunge band guy, I'd say like Jerry Cantrell. I wouldn't pick Chris Cornell.
So I signed a CD for him. And was like, you know, oh man, that's awesome. Please don't tell anybody else here. So the worst thing that can happen to you if you just go up to some random guy and you get a bogus autograph that you try to sell on eBay. You know?
That's a great story. But Chris Cornell does not have long hair now.
It's not anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. Was that when he had long hair?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay. That's cool.
Chris, he's a very pretty man. That's a flattering thing.
Woman last night told me I look like Joan Jett, which I'll take that for now.
Cool. You know, but that's a really. I wonder if it was Steve Jobs. I mean, I know he's been pretty sick.
Like,
and, you know,
what about the medical stuff down?
Yeah.
Like it's because what's the school that's right there?
Oh yeah, CMU's big computer science program.
Yeah, I'm strongly feeling.
What's going to be creepy is if we find out the day that he died.
No,
and you looked up and he wasn't there. It would be his ghost.
Right.
The coffee house ghost.
But I did run into a situation in Pittsburgh, actually. I went to see the Weathered Roads CD release at the Hard Rock. And there was a guy walking around who looks like
I remember I was
the
there.
dude from Kiss. And I swear...
Oh, the guy from Kiss, yes.
But he's not. He's
not.
a lookalike. And I had to look it up online, and there's videos of like this guy who is this dead ringer.
I forgot about that. I was like...
I spent all night going, is that him?
Is that Gene Simmons?
Here? Why would Gene Simmons be here? And I looked it up online, and it's a professional like lookalike guy.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that really like threw me off too. I was sitting there going...
It's just weird, y'all.
It was strange.
It was this Gene Simmons lookalike guy, and I'm looking like, Gene Simmons is here to see their you know, what's he doing in town? Is Kiss playing anywhere? You know?
I know, because you start looking things up online. That's what I did with Steve Jobs. I'm like, does he have an itinerary somewhere?
I'm
It
here
says
to
if he's
drop
doing,
off
like, a
my
talk or
boots
something.
at the Hard Rock.
Hey, you know, but you know, there are people too. You just, I'm sure that just walk up and say hi, and but then again, you know, it's like you're invading some type of private space. And,
Yeah,
and it's
a
so
friend of mine
cool.
got sort of shoved down by Jimmy Page's bodyguard recently, which really sucked because he was a huge fan. He goes up and he's like, "Would you totally sign?" And the bodyguard just goes, and they keep walking.
Oh wow!
It's weird in the folk community because it's not like that. I did a tour with Dar Williams, and
I saw that on you. I was going to ask
that was
you
a
about
trip.
that.
That was a trip. The story of how that came about is an interesting story. We played this show in Baltimore where everything went wrong. Everything. What it was is we were just supposed to play like a 30-minute set, and these friends of ours were coming to do this show called 3 Men on Bass. A guy named Tom Bianchi, who's like the king of Boston. Seth Horan, who used to be the bass player for Vertical Horizon. And this other guy do like this 3-man on bass thing, spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
We get there, Seth is there and flashes us the text message that tells us the other two have had a major car issue very far away and they are not making it. And so we were supposed to do a 30-minute set. They had a 2-hour prepared show all thrown out the window.
That text message was very short and very obscene.
Yes, it involved expletives I'm not going to use on the radio. So, like, Seth and us cobbled together a combined set, you know, him playing bass for us, whatever, you know. I get a call, like, 3 months later that goes, "Hi, you won't remember me. I saw this show you played in Baltimore at this pizza place, and I'm Dar Williams' best friend, and her percussionist has Lyme disease, and she needs a replacement in 2 days who can sing." And I said, "I think I might know someone." And I called the management company, and it was legit, and they're like, "If you can make it up for an audition, you know, to New York tomorrow, then the job's probably yours." And I went thinking I'm not going to get the job, because there were other people sitting in the, you know, waiting room. And about halfway through the thing, she was saying, when we. And I, like, got in the elevator, and I had driven up with my dad, because it was in Manhattan, and there was no way in hell I was driving up there with auditioning, craziness, and parking, and whatever by myself. And I said to my dad, she says, "When we?" I said, "I'm going to get this job," you know. And, like, we had to, like, throw our entire world in chaos. Rob took Rowan, our other percussionist, out on the tour we were supposed to do. I went with her and flew out to meet the tour in Boulder and did, like, 26 days with them. You know, no rehearsal. They overnighted me live recordings. I mean, it was one of the scariest things I've ever done. And yet, cool. Sean Mullins was the other performer, and he was on our bus. And so it was, like, Dar Williams, Sean Mullins, and me watching Superbad on the tour bus, you know.
Do you just like pinch yourself and say,
It was weird. I still look back
"Is this
at it sometimes
happening,
like it's a
or
different life.
is this an
And,
Inception?" Yeah.
And, like, the keyboard player was the guy from the Madison Square Gardeners. I mean, like, this was a really all-star sort of thing, and it was a trio band. It was me, this guy, and her. That was it.
Awesome.
So-
Awesome. I was going to ask you about that. But the 3 guys on bass, were they doing, like, who's on first, what's on second? Where's
No,
on
it's
third?
literally BASS.
Yeah, no, and they
I
are
was-
some of the most
They're
dazzling
phenomenal.
bass players I've ever
I-
seen. All
I
bass
was
singer-songwriters.
So it was odd that it happened to be, she saw, like, one of the, like, most thrown-together
That's how
haphazard
it
shows
happens.
we've ever played, and that was that.
Yeah, it's just amazing how those connections happen, and next thing you know, you're meeting somebody and you go, "Did that just happen?" You know?
Right.
Wow.
And Dar's super cool, and my point for bringing it up is it's like it's a whole different world, you know, like people come up and say hi, and it's cool, and it's not sort of like, let me
Yeah.
throw you against a wall because you're in my space.
Yeah, and I think it's all, you know, a matter of like how it's all approached too. You know,
Mhm.
like the people that come in and go, "Hi,"
Right.
You know, like,
It's like-
get them here. You know, like, what should I be doing? Hey, you guys want to play something else for us? We've got like 15 minutes. So I
Okay,
just
yeah,
wanted
we
to
will
kind of
totally
get.
play other.
get,
Do you want to do
an idea.
about? Yeah, okay.
And so, in case you just joined us, we have Ilyaimy here in the studio. It's Heather and Rob, and they've been playing some stuff for us. I'm going to record. We're recording the video to put up on the acousticSongs YouTube site, and also the podcast will be available online. We are syndicated through PRX, so anybody out there in listener land can pick it up through PRX, the WNJR PRX site, and we will also have the podcast available on iTunes. So a lot of media available for you. And what are you guys going to do for us?
We're going to do one that's off the solo disc that I put out, but it's actually working its way into the band. It'll probably have a full band incarnation shortly. It's the Silent Little Bells, I had always wanted to write a murder ballad, which people think is weird, but it's not weird. Traditional song form. Nick Cave did a whole album of murder ballads.
Yeah, those were scary.
Yes. But I decided in mine I wanted the guy to get his, because it's always like pretty Polly being led up on the hill and stuff, and so it was like, nah, in mine it's going to be a guy who deserves it, and so...
So this is?
An original murder ballad called Silent Little Bells.
Down to a hole in the cold, cold ground on a gray, gray day. Down to a hole, down, down, softly, dust to lay. I buried us in a secret place, nothing will blow. Bluebells in the field, only we never know. No churchyard will ever hold our sad, sad sin. A coin of copper, silver, gold to buy our way in. No stone to mark the little place where we lie. No storm of my heart, no one's tears but mine. Can you hear judgment in the trees? How they say I took my love to an old place on the edge of town. Told him he could take me, lay me down, and kiss me on the edge of a well. I took my lover in my arms, took us both to hell. Down to a hole in the cold, cold ground. Gray, gray day. Into a hole, down, down, softly, dust and lay. I buried us in a secret place, none will see. Bluebells in the field, bluebells in the field, bluebells in the field. And I don't want to ring.
I got my toe tapping back here. I just realized, and you guys stopped, and it has that like shuffle.
Yeah.
It's moved from different styles, so like that
was some of the freedom of doing that songwriting thing every month. Was what does this topic say to me? What does the brick want to be? Doesn't have to be a folk song. Could be, you know, a really traditional folk song. Could be goofy ukulele song. I wrote like a pop song. I even have like a trip hop remix on the end of it for fun.
Yeah, I mean that comes off as like really like I hear bluegrass thing. You know?
Yeah, I mean I wanted to write, if you're going to write a murder ballad, I think I wanted to write something timeless, and so the biggest struggle is how you're going to kill them, because frankly it needs to be, this sounds so horrible, it needs to be a timeless sort of death, and there needs to be nothing in the song that sort of speaks to time. And so that song could have been written like 100 years ago, or it could be right now.
iPod.
Dark, yeah, dark, kind of like on the banks of the Ohio.
Yeah.
That type of tune, you know.
Definitely.
Familiar with that, you know. That's you hear that now, and so many people have covered it, and it's really old. It's a really like, you know, probably like some 1700s Appalachian. You know, I don't know who actually wrote it, you know.
Yeah, and murder ballads deal with a certain truism of sort of like human experience that can sort of be timeless, especially if there's nothing in the song that's indicative of a specific moment.
Yeah, that's hard when you write about a topic, when you put a line in, and
Think of all the ones about something on the answering machine, or a
Dial
letter,
tone.
you know, my baby wrote me a letter, not anymore.
Yeah.
My baby wrote me an email.
Yeah.
My baby sent me a text message.
My baby sent me a text message. My baby has 3G.
On the other hand, I love the songs that have like sort of come around to their own again. What was the cover that Richard Shindell did, Pete Seeger song?
Yeah,
Waist Deep in the Big Money.
Oh yeah.
There's a song that really came around again, and when Richard Shindell started covering it with the Iraq War, I guess, you know, it was chilling to hear these very, very same cyclical ideas being reflected in a whole new administration, a whole new war, a whole new thing.
Yeah.
Not to get back to the protest side of things
Yeah.
again, but like, yeah, the idea that there are some songs that are timeless and just never go out of style, and there are other ones who I love the fact that they crop back up again, and you could have written them today because it's so topical.
Yeah, what comes to mind is like yeah, like a lot of Dylan stuff.
Oh, I was going to say Push It by Salt and Pepper, but yeah, okay, yeah. What? Okay.
Marvin Gaye's stuff, you know.
Yeah. No, it was weird because when we did the National Association of Campus Activities, one of the things our friends impressed upon us was in the medley of what you do, because you have 5 minutes. 5 minutes. In the medley of what you do in 5 minutes, you have to do like a recognizable cover, but you're dealing with an 18 to 21 set.
Oh yeah.
And so, but we did a current R&B song because we can and we wanted to.
I saw the We Can Work It Out thing. That was really cool.
That was the first tribute we ever got asked to do, and then we got asked to do a lot after that. I mean, we did a Bob Marley tribute, we did a Paul Simon tribute, we did a Led Zeppelin tribute. We've been invited to do, and we did a Pete Seeger tribute too.
Wow.
So.
Well, we have like time for
Alright,
like
what's
one
the
more
song?
I think we
song.
were talking about the NACA
Close
song.
it out.
Oh God, are we gonna do this?
Okay.
Huh?
All right, we're gonna do. Since you got, I'm looking at this board that says alternative hip hop on this wall right here.
Yeah, they have a lot of hip hop and stuff that they play. And,
This is an original song that we mashed up because that's become popular to do with a hip hop song.
Yeah, so this is what we did for
This is
our
what we did for
18 to
NACA.
21 year olds.
Okay.
Right.
This is Ilyaimy on Acoustic Songs Live, and your host T. Mitchell Bell. Join us next week. My son Chris is going to be here to play.
We
so,
love Chris.
yeah, so and thank you so much, guys, for being here and
Thank
for
you.
playing for me. I've really enjoyed it tremendously.
Thank you for having us.
No, I should have written it down.
The song.
Yeah, I love it. Song.
Okay. Wrong song, I'm sorry.
So way back in the club, oh, five man is rocking from side to side, side to side. Thank God the week is done. I feel like a zombie come back to life, back to life. Hands up, suddenly we all got our hands up. No control of my mind. Ain't I seen you before? I think I remember those eyes. Baby, tonight,
DJ's got us falling in love again.
baby, tonight,
DJ's got us falling in love again. DJ's got us falling in love again.
All right, that's Ilyaimy on Acoustic Songs Live from WNJR, Washington.